The call came in at 2:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. Active shooter at Lincoln High School. Multiple casualties incoming. The ER went into lockdown protocol immediately. We cleared beds, prepped trauma bays, called in extra surgeons. 10 minutes later, the first ambulance arrived. Then another. And another. Gunshot wounds to the chest, abdomen, legs. Kids. They were all kids. 15, 16, 17 years old. Still wearing their backpacks. Some crying, some silent with shock. We worked on all of them simultaneously. The ER transformed into controlled chaos. Then the last ambulance pulled up. The paramedic's face told me everything before he even opened the doors. 17-year-old male, gunshot wound to the head, lost pulse en route. We've been doing CPR for 8 minutes. They wheeled him in, and I saw his face. Young, maybe a senior. Dark hair, athletic build. Someone's son. Someone's whole world. We worked on him for 45 minutes. Intubation, chest compressions, medications, everything in our arsenal. We got his heart back twice, but both times it stopped again within minutes. Finally, I checked the monitor. Flatline. Brain activity was gone. There was nothing more we could do. Time of death, 3:52 p.m., I said quietly. The nurses stopped moving. The room went silent, except for the monitors beeping from other trauma bays. I looked down at this kid, who would never graduate, never go to college, never fall in love. His whole life stolen in seconds by someone's hatred. A nurse started collecting his belongings. Wallet, phone, one sneaker that had come off. Then someone in the waiting room started screaming. A woman's voice, raw with terror. "Where's my son? Please, someone tell me where Marcus is." I walked to the waiting room. There she was. Mid-40s, wearing scrubs herself, a nurse's badge still clipped to her shirt. She'd probably been at work when she got the call. Her eyes locked onto mine, searching my face desperately for good news. But I couldn't give her any. "Are you Marcus Bennett's mother?" She nodded, unable to speak. I guided her to a private room. Just me and her. She sat down, gripping the arms of the chair so hard her knuckles turned white. "Mrs. Bennett, I'm Dr. Michael. I was the one treating your son." I paused. There's no easy way to say it. No gentle version that makes it hurt less. Marcus didn't survive his injuries. We did everything we could, but the damage was too severe. "I'm so sorry." She made a sound I'll never forget. Not quite a scream. Not quite a sob. Something in between that came from a place deeper than words can reach. She collapsed forward, and I caught her. For 10 minutes, she just cried in my arms. When she could finally speak, the words came out broken. "He's all I have. His father died in Iraq when Marcus was 5. It's been just us. Just us for 12 years. What am I supposed to do now?" I had no answer. I just held her while she shattered. Eventually, she sat back up, wiping her face. "Can I see him?" "Of course. But first, I need to ask you something difficult. Your son's driver's license indicates he's not registered as an organ donor. However, given his age and that his organs are still viable, I need to ask if you'd consider donation. Right now, there are 5 people in different hospitals who are dying while waiting for organs. Marcus could save them." Her reaction was immediate and fierce. "No." She stood up, anger flashing through her grief. "No, you are not touching my son. He's been through enough. He got shot in the head at school. He's suffered, and now you want to cut him up? Absolutely not." I raised my hands. "I understand. I'm sorry for asking at such a difficult time. We won't do anything without your consent." She sat back down, trembling. "I just want to see my boy. Please." I was about to take her to see Marcus when one of our nurses, Sarah, knocked on the door. She looked uncomfortable. "Dr. Michael, I need to show you something. It's about the patient's phone. There's something you need to see before the family proceeds." Sarah handed me Marcus's phone. It was unlocked, the screen still showing what she'd found. It was an app called Life Gift Donor Registry. Marcus had registered himself as an organ donor 3 months ago. Full registration. All organs and tissues authorized for donation. There was even a note he'd written. "If something happens to me, I want to help people. Don't let my mom stop you. This is my choice." I stared at the screen. Legally, in our state, if someone over 16 registers themselves as a donor, that decision supersedes family wishes. But telling a grieving mother that her son made this choice without her knowing? That would destroy what was left of her heart. I walked back into the room with Mrs. Bennett. "There's something you need to see." I showed her the phone. She looked at the screen for a long moment. Her hands started shaking. "I don't understand. He never told me. Why wouldn't he tell me?" Her voice was barely a whisper. "When did he do this?" I checked the registration date. 3 months ago. May 15th. Her face went pale. May 15th. That was the day of Derek's funeral. Derek was his best friend since kindergarten. He died waiting for a heart transplant. Marcus was devastated. She looked up at me with tears streaming down her face. At the funeral, Marcus held my hand and said, "Mom, if I die young, I want it to mean something." I thought he was just grieving. I didn't know he meant this. She stared at her son's words on the screen. "Don't let my mom stop you. This is my choice." She started crying again, but differently this time. Not just grief. Something else mixed in. "He knew me," she whispered. "He knew I'd say no. He knew I'd want to keep him whole, keep him with me as long as possible. So he made the choice himself, because he knew it was right, even though he knew it would hurt me." She looked at me. "Legally, does his registration override my wishes?" I nodded slowly. "Yes. If he registered himself, we have to honor that." She closed her eyes. "Then do it. Do what my son wanted. But I need to know who gets his organs. I need to know his death meant something." Over the next 8 hours, we coordinated with 5 different hospitals. Marcus was a perfect match for multiple recipients. Heart, liver, both kidneys and lungs. 5 people on the edge of death, who would live because a 17-year-old boy had the courage to make an impossible choice. 3 days later, Mrs. Bennett called me. The organ bank said I can receive anonymous letters from the recipients. They started arriving today. Her voice was shaky. "Can I come show you? I need someone to understand." She came to the hospital that evening. She had 5 letters in her hands. "This one is from the person who got his heart," she said, opening it with trembling fingers. "Dear Marcus's family, I'm 42 years old with 2 daughters, ages 8 and 10. I've been waiting for a heart for 14 months. My girls thought they were going to lose their daddy. Your son saved my life. My daughters have their father because of Marcus's courage and your incredible sacrifice." Mrs. Bennett's tears fell on the paper. "His heart is still beating. In someone else's chest, Marcus's heart is still beating." She opened the second letter. "This one is from the liver recipient." She read aloud, "I'm an 8-year-old girl named Sophie. My mommy is writing this for me because I'm still learning cursive. I was very sick, and the doctor said I needed a new liver, or I would die. Your son gave me his liver, and now I'm going to get better. My mommy showed me a picture of a superhero and said that's what your son was. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor and save people like your son saved me. He's my hero." Mrs. Bennet covered her mouth, sobbing. She's 8 years old. The same age Marcus was when his father died. He saved a little girl who's the same age he was when he lost his dad. The parallel wasn't lost on either of us. Marcus had lived through losing a parent. He'd ensured this little girl wouldn't have to. Over the next hour, she read the other 3 letters. A 28-year-old teacher who got a kidney. A 55-year-old grandmother who got the other kidney. A 19-year-old college student who got the lungs. All of them alive because Marcus had seen his best friend die and decided that if death came for him, it wouldn't be meaningless. Dr. Michael, Mrs. Bennet said, I was so angry at you for asking about donation. I thought you were being cruel, asking me to give up pieces of my son. But Marcus knew better than me. He understood something I didn't. She wiped her eyes. My son died a hero. Not because he got shot protecting someone, but because months before it happened he made a choice. A brave, selfless choice that I never knew about. I thought I knew everything about my boy. Turns out, he was even better than I realized. 6 months later, Mrs. Bennet asked if I wanted to attend something with her. The organ bank was hosting an event where donor families could meet recipients if both parties agreed. All 5 of Marcus's recipients had agreed. I watched as she met them one by one. The father with his 2 daughters, little Sophie with her parents, the teacher, the grandmother, the college student. They all hugged her. They all cried with her. And Sophie, that 8-year-old girl, gave Mrs. Bennet a drawing she'd made. It showed a boy with angel wings and a superhero cape. At the bottom, in wobbly child's handwriting, "Thank you for sharing your son with me." Mrs. Bennet framed that drawing. She told me it hangs in Marcus's room, where his bed is still made, where his trophies still line the shelves. I still lost my son, she said. Nothing changes that. But knowing that 5 families didn't lose their loved ones because of Marcus, that helps. It doesn't fix the broken heart, but it helps. I think about Marcus every time I have to ask a family about organ donation. One donor can save up to 8 lives. One choice, made by a 17-year-old boy who wanted his death to matter, created 5 miracles. If this story moved you, please subscribe for more real medical stories that remind us of the heroes among us. Hit like and share your thoughts in the comments. And consider registering as an organ donor. You might save lives you'll never meet.